everyone, this is Ami Patel. Welcome to the video session of Basic Electronics. In this particular video, I am going to discuss about common emitter transistor configuration. In the previous video of this chapter, I had discussed about different transistor configuration. We had seen the common base configuration into detail also. So let us begin. These are the contents I am going to discuss in this particular video. So first we will see in which way the transistor can be biased. So we will see the transistor biasing in different operating region. Then we will see the common emitter configuration circuit diagram with the NPN transistor. And next we will see the input characteristic for the common emitter configuration, that is also referred as the base curve. Next we will see the output characteristic for the common emitter configuration, that is referred as the collector curve. And at last we will see the relationship between the current gain, that is alpha and beta. So let us begin first with the biasing of NPN transistor. The table shows the different operating region and the biasing at the different junctions. So in the BJT, basically two junctions are there, base to emitter junction and collector to base junction. So in order to bias the transistor into the cutoff region, both of this junction has to be in the reverse bias. So the batteries which is connected to this 3 terminal of the BJT would be such that it will bias these two junctions into the reverse bias. And when we are doing so, we are using the BJT as a switch open. In the active region, that is a forward active region, base to emitter junction has to be in the forward bias. So this is a forward active region where the base to emitter junction, that is the BE junction, has to be in the forward bias and collector to base junction has to be in the reverse bias. When we are biasing in this particular manner, the BJT will be used as an amplifier. And at last, the saturation region where we are biasing both of this junction into the forward bias. And when we are biasing in this operating region, then the transistor is used as a switch closed. So in order to use the transistor as an amplifier, it should be operated in the active region. So in the next slide, you will see in the circuit diagram, we will be biasing this base to emitter junction into forward bias and collector to base junction into the reverse bias. So this is the circuit diagram for the common emitter configuration. You can find over here, this is the emitter terminal on which the arrow is being shown, and this emitter terminal is being grounded. We are applying input to the base. You can see over here, input is connected to the base and output is taken from the collector. And here we are biasing such that base to emitter junction is being forward biased. So this is NPN transistor and this P is connected to the plus of the battery, N is connected to minus of the battery. That's why this base to emitter junction is being forward biased, and this collector to base junction is reverse bias, and for doing so we are connecting this N side to the positive terminal of the battery. That's why this reverse bias is applied over here. So collector to base junction is reverse biased and emitter to base junction is forward biased by the battery VBB. Now we will see the input characteristic for the common emitter configuration. So this input characteristic is a plot of input current versus the input voltage with a constant output voltage. We have shown the circuit diagram again, and we are plotting the input voltage on the x-axis, that is VBE, and input current on the y-axis, that is IB, as we are applying input to the base terminal. Emitter is common, that's why input current is IB, input voltage is VBE. And we are plotting first constant output voltage, that is VCE is equal to 0 volt. Then we will plot the same thing with the 10 volt and then the 20 volt. What are we doing over here is, that is VCE, we are going to keep 0 and we will increase this battery voltage and we are going to measure this IB, and for different value of VBE we are going to do plot of IB and we are getting this first curve. So next what we will do, we will keep this VCE to another voltage, that is 10 volt. So we keep this VCE, that is 10 volt, by setting this particular battery, and we will keep on increasing this input voltage and we will measure the IB, and we are getting the second plot. Again, similarly for VCE to 20 volt we will follow the same steps and we are getting the third curve. So this is the input characteristic, and this characteristic will look like the forward characteristic of PN junction diode, because we have P and N junction over here between the base to emitter, and that is being forward biased, and we are applying input. We are increasing the input voltage and we are noting the input current, and that we are plotting over here. So this base to emitter junction is forward bias. That's why it will look like as a forward bias PN junction diode characteristic. Next we will see the output characteristic. Output characteristic is the plot of output current versus the output voltage. While doing so, we will keep the input current constant. So on x-axis we are plotting the output voltage of VCE. On y-axis we are plotting the output current IC, because output we are taking from the collector. And for initially IB is equal to 0, that is input current is kept 0, and we are plotting we are increasing the VCE and we are noting the IC, and we are getting this first curve. Then we will do for different input currents. This particular region, which is below the IB is equal to 0 microampere, this region is referred as a cutoff region. Here both the junctions are in the reverse biased. And next we will set input current, that is IB is equal to 10 microampere, and we will keep on increasing VCE. We will note down the IC, we will be getting the second curve. Then we will do the same procedure for IB is equal to 20 microampere, then 30 microampere, 40 microampere. So in doing so, we are going to get this different curves. So this is also referred as the collector curve, because this is for the collector current versus the collector voltage. And this particular region where we are getting increase in the output current with increase in output voltage, this region is the saturation region, and the region where we are getting almost constant current is the active region. So this is the output characteristic or the collector curve for the common emitter configuration. Now we will see the transistor current gains. So current gain, we know that is the output current divided by the input current. For common base current gain is alpha, for common emitter current gain is beta, and for common collector current gain is gamma. So for common base configuration, alpha is equal to output current, that is IC divided by IE. For common emitter configuration, beta is equal to IC divided by IB, because emitter is common, output is taken from the collector. For common collector, we have gamma is the current gain, where collector is common, output is taken from the emitter, input is applied to the base. So this is a current gain, and we know the current equation is IE is equal to IB plus IC. Now we are going to derive the relation between these two current gain, that is alpha and beta, and for that we have taken the basic equation, that is IE is equal to IB plus IC. Then beta we already seen in the previous slide, IC divided by IB, and we are putting the value of IB, that is IE minus IC, in this particular equation. Then we are getting this beta is equal to IC divided by IE minus IC. This is equation 3. Now we are dividing IE in the numerator as well as denominator in the equation 3, and we will be getting IC divided by IE. Here also this IE will get cancelled out. So you can see this IC divided by IE is alpha, and we can write beta is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha by putting the value of IC by IE. So this is the first relation we have got. Now from this equation we can just manipulate alpha is equal to beta into 1 minus alpha, and again by multiplying beta we are getting alpha plus beta into alpha is equal to this, and we will keep this as a subject, then alpha is equal to beta divided by 1 plus beta. We have taken alpha as the subject and we have got another relationship, that is alpha is equal to beta divided by 1 plus beta. So this is the alpha and beta relationship. We will use this alpha and beta relationship in the numericals.